Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve. Welcome to Born to Achieve podcast, the show that inspires and motivates you to unlock your full potential and achieve your goals. With your host, Warren Andrew Pinder. Let's get started on this week's episode of Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve.
Man, so going through all this, right? Going through all this now, here you are. Here you are. And, you know, being introduced to a friend of mine and my friend introducing me to you.
Mm-hmm.
And when I spoke to you, I'm like, man, you got to share that story. I need persons to hear the story. Tell us since that accident and that day, right? What has given you the vision that you now carry?
I love the way you phrase that. What has given me the vision?
Being real.
First and foremost, God. God and my faith has given me the vision that I have now. What do I mean by this? Well, just like you spoke in the introduction, my quote says, I may have lost my sight, but I didn't lose my vision. Okay, for those who can see me, I'm going to do this with hand gestures. I may have lost my sight, but I didn't lose my vision. My vision is mental. That's a mental thing. And I knew that I always had a strong mind to do different things. All the assignments I've ever carried out were done wholeheartedly. I don't like to do things, as they say, with just half of your rear, okay? So
yeah.
I am wholeheartedly gonna attack something if I go at it. Whether it's the drums, whether it's business, whether it's mentoring, whether it's, you know, resiliency coaching, whatever it is, I'm going to attack it wholeheartedly. Because if I don't, I feel like I'm either cheating myself or I'm cheating you. And I don't want to do either one. Even when I come on these podcast interviews, even when I step foot on a stage doing a keynote speech, I am going wholeheartedly. And you're going to get the best of who? Me.
Yes.
So God is who gave me the vision to continue going. First and foremost, he did have to prepare me. Don't get me wrong. This was not easy. This is not an overnight success story. It's been 8 years. Okay. That first year and a half were rough. I mean it. It was
share some of that you had to go through, bro.
I had to go through. Man. Well, first off, you know, I had to go through the fact of the realization of me not being able to see.
Yeah.
You know, because I woke up
overnight. That's overnight.
On June the 6th, I woke up without sight.
Wow.
That was not like a gradual thing. I wasn't like, oh no, it's leaving me. No. It was gone.
Did that distort you? Or did you accept that right away? I mean, like,
man, listen.
What it was like, man?
Listen, man. I was 25. I've been living life, okay? I'm refueling airplanes in midair. And you think your eyesight being taken away is not going to affect you somehow? Man, listen. It was so crazy because not only was that like one of the realizations I had, like I wasn't going to be able to do that again, but I also was like, wait a minute, I got to go to work.
I can't see where to go.
Yeah. I am not lying to you. I turned to my mother and I said, oh no, I'm supposed to be at work. And she was like, you must not know what day it is. And I'm like, no, what day is it? I was like, wait a minute, wasn't it just May? And now it's June. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I tell you like realization, because I'm a realist first and foremost, I'll tell you that any day of the week. I don't know how to sugarcoat things. I'm a truth teller. I love being honest. Okay.
Right.
And so realist, that's me. If you don't want the real, don't come talk to me because it's going to hurt. Okay. It just might hurt. But at the same sense, it's not from a point of me wanting to be rude or hurtful. It's from a point of me being real and wanting to tell you the truth. Because without truth, what are you gaining?
That is true.
What do you gain if I tell you a lie about you?
You allow you just put persons in a holding pattern until the reality hits them, the truth hits them.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Well, Kijuan said I should do this and do that. Why did he say that? That is not true. Like, you know, and then you're going to look at me funny the next time you see me.
Yeah.
Last time you told me. Yeah, see, I don't, that's why I don't do it. I'm okay with you being mad at me for telling the truth, but not for a lie. I will not
Exactly.
lie to you.
Exactly.
Okay. So, initially waking up, I couldn't see. I couldn't even talk because my jaw had been broken in the accident and they had wired it shut. You
Yeah.
cannot open your mouth when it's wired shut. Trust me, I tried. Trust me, I was trying daily while that thing was on me because it's not cool. Again, I told you I'm 25. It is not cool waking up and not being able to communicate how you have been.
Yeah.
That was such a, I- it was a life altering change at the time. I mean, of course, it was temporary, but it don't matter. 1 second, 1 hour, 1 day, too long. It's too long for me not to be able to talk to someone when I want to do it. You know what I mean? Like that
Right.
was the worst thing ever. And so I w- not, and I didn't real. I also didn't realize I couldn't smell yet because I can't smell either.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
so bad, man.
that came from them when they had to put the metal plates in my head.
Yeah.
When they went into my face, that damaged it. So when they went in my face, it messed up my ability to smell.
Thank you for joining today's podcast. We'll be right back.
Achieve Man, written by Warren Andrew Pinder and Dominique Bradford. This book passionately focuses on the challenges women have been made to go through and how to overcome them. In some cultures, being a woman disadvantages the girl child. This book carefully exposes the hurdles you might face. This masterpiece is the ultimate self-help guide for women. It reveals your true purpose and identity. Get your copy today. Available from Amazon.
We now return to today's podcast.
So, but I can still taste. So, hey, listen, you send me some good food, I'm gonna eat it. Yeah, but anywho, man, that was just the first day. The first day of me waking up. If you go on to, the days I had to learn how to walk,
Oh, man.
the days I had to learn how to, just move from bed to car or wheelchair or wheelchair to car or, just transferring to anything. That stuff was rough. Don't get me wrong. I was working out in the rehab on the rehab floor, but I was coming back from nothing. Like literally I was skin and bones. What the muscle you see now is work. This is work. What I had back then was nothing. I
Yeah.
lost all my muscle. I already was only about 185, 190 pounds. I'm 230 now. But I was back then, I was only like 185, 190 pounds. And I was skinny. It was like skinny muscle. So really lean muscle.
Yeah.
And when you're cut on, you're not really being fed because you can't eat. So they're using a gastrointestinal tube to feed me protein and stuff. Like this is the bare minimums to keep you, okay during this time you're in a coma. I probably lost about 40 pounds in that coma, if not more. But I know for sure it had to be about 40 pounds. I was skinny. I couldn't pull myself up. I used to be able to just throw myself around with one arm. I had to use two. And that was rough. And so, man, when I tell you, I was laying in the bed, couldn't even move my legs. They had to come move my legs for me at the beginning. Cause what it was, they were stiff. So they were like, say if you're holding somebody's foot and you're pushing it towards their chest.
Yeah.
The knee towards the chest, and you pull it back out, back and forth like that to keep the fluidity in it and the motion. That's what they had to do to me because of all of the different surgeries I had to have on my leg. Well, both legs, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. And they were flexing my right foot because when I first started back walking, I couldn't even put the heel on the floor.
Ooh.
I had to walk on the ball of my foot.
Ooh.
Yeah. No flex. None. I forget what it's called. The flex area right there at your ankle, the little hinge where it pivots back and forth. It wasn't moving. So if it was ball of my foot, the only way it would go is down further. That's it. It wouldn't go up.
That's Achilles, huh? The tendon.
It's something to do with me having to pull my leg upward. Whatever I had to do to pull it or pull my foot upward, I couldn't pull it up, and it wouldn't allow it to flex down. It wouldn't allow my heel to flex down.
Wow.
If you were to see my leg right now, you would see that there's like a what I call a shin muscle.
Yeah,
I don't think you have a shin muscle, but I do
I
because
got you.
you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So like it's crazy, man. And there's so much I went through. Then when
life changing, man. It's
yeah,
just
when I got
absolutely life changing. Starting with your sight, right? And you
yeah.
had to rebuild. You had to rebuild that, but more importantly, you rebuilt your mind,
Oh yeah,
right?
well of course, yeah,
You,
mindset shift.
So in that mindset shift,
Mm.
take us now to the journey that you're on, right? And the successes that you have achieved.
Well,
That
yeah,
you took something that would have been traumatic in your life,
mm,
and everyone says, right, is when we're tested. It's
mm,
when we're tested that we rise. You can either rise or lie down and play dead, right? You
mm.
obviously arose. You have something to tell us about that.
Oh yeah. After all of the realizations and depression and suicidal thoughts, like I had all this stuff, by the way, just to let you know. I heard someone say recently, they said, you don't have a testimony without the test. You don't have a message without the mess. And I've got
That's
both, and so the thing about it, man, is when I understood, hey, I'm still alive, it has to be for a reason. I'm a faith believer. I went to God. I said, God, what is my purpose now? And he was like, for you to continue guiding and inspiring my people, let them know you're still here for a reason, not just because some doctor cut on you because they thought I was going to die. They told my family, oh, you might as well just call everybody. It was that what I say is that final call thing. Last
Yeah.
call? Yeah, no, God has the final say, not you. And so I remember I have to tell you this story here. I remember going to a follow-up appointment about my spinal cord surgery. And this was after I left the hospital. So this was like a outpatient clinic visit. And the guy who actually did the surgery, the actual spinal cord surgeon, was the guy I was seeing. I did not know it was him until he said it. He's like, oh yeah, I did your surgery. I said, oh, you did? He's like, yeah. He's like, but I didn't I didn't expect you to be sitting on that bed. And I was like, oh, well, what did you expect? He's like, I expected you to be in a wheelchair or something. And I'm like, oh, you expect me to have back support. That's what you're saying. Okay, I get it. Well, I'll do you one better. I'll stand up for you. He's like, what?
Wow.
And so he slid back and I stood up tall and proud. I said, it wasn't just the fact that you put these 2 rods and 12 screws in my back that made me okay. I had to go through a journey to get to where I'm standing up like this right now. And he said verbatim out of his mouth, he said, yeah, when they called me in there to do your surgery for your spinal cord, yeah, I was just doing that for protocol. And if you don't know what protocol is, that means he's like, whether he makes it or not, they're just telling me to do it.
Oh wow.
They had no faith in me making it. None. The percentages, that's what the medical industry uses. The percentages of me making it were low, very low. And so as I get back into, what I'm doing now, Amey Motivation, my resiliency coaching, my trusted mentoring, even the ambassadorship that I do with the Air Force Wounded Warriors program, as well as the mentorship I do with them, I don't stop because if I stop, I'm no longer helping others. And that's what my whole vision statement is about, is to help others. It's not
Yeah.
just about me. It's about helping others along the way. As soon as I gain more knowledge, I try to pass it on. Like I wish. So some of the guys I mentor, they'll call me and they're like, yeah, man, I was trying to do this and that. And then something will pop up in my head. Oh yeah, I know a resource about that. You should reach out to him. What? I was like, yeah, that's why I tell you to reach out to me whenever you have a problem. I might know something,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things right there.
And it's that sharing that makes us great. It's really that sharing that makes us great.
Now for a commercial break.
Achieve Men, written by Warren Andrew Pinder. In this book, you will learn the 7 steps to achieving your dreams and goals. Given the vision to share how the acronym of the word achieve can be used systematically in your day-to-day life. Each of us is given a unique gift from God. Get your copy today. Available in print, ebook, and audiobook from Amazon.
We now return to today's podcast.
It's funny you said it. Like, I say it over and over. My personal vision is to help and teach others to identify and communicate their purpose. And it's when we find that purpose, that's our driving force. That's literally our driving force to keep us going. Like with this show, it's there that persons will hear stories like yours that will touch them. You don't know who's going to be listening or whom will be touched by what you just shared with us today, that will make a difference in their lives, and I commend you. Being a warrior, for being the person that you are, willing to help, willing to make a difference because of your misfortune, right? You didn't ball up and feel sorry for yourself.
Right.
You didn't do that. From the first time I spoke to you, I said, man, we got to talk.
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk because, and I said to you that my son had a similar incident, that if you saw the wreckage that he walked from, probably no one they would ask the question, man, he could not have had survived that. But you eloquently expressed what you went through that day that changed your life from a man that obviously, I don't know if you ever jumped out of the plane, but you were doing a job, like you said, maybe 1% of the world had an opportunity to do. And it changed that one day. But I'm sure for the rest of your life, right, you're going to make an impact beyond fueling planes in the air. I'm sure of that, man.
Oh, yeah.
But give our listeners some of your handles. Let them know how they can reach out to you. Put your book out there. Share so they can go there and support you. Just give a word of inspiration, like to persons that right now are feeling this moment. I know this person is feeling a moment that you've shared. Give them some inspiration.
Yeah, no problem. So first and foremost, it's easier said than done. But one thing that I always tell people, don't give up. It's 3 words. Don't give up. And it's, like I said, very easier said than done. But there are so many times we want to give up in life. Trust me, I had them. When the depression set in, when those suicidal thoughts kicked in, I was ready to let it go, let it all go. I didn't want to be here no more. But there was that change that happened. There was that moment that set in that said, but wait a minute, you can do this. And that's 3 more words. You can, or 4, do this.
Mm-hmm.
So let the 4 outweigh the 3.
Yeah.
Hear me clearly. Let the 4 outweigh the 3, because the 4 is definitely going to get you there, because you can do this. Now, if you would like to follow me or engage with me, feel free to visit my website. That's ameymotivation.com, AMEY motivation.com. On there, you can book me as a speaker for any event you might have, whether it's a conference, a convention, a gala, any type of event you might be hosting. Feel free to reach out to me. On their website, you can also find my book, which is called Don't Focus on Why Me, From Motorcycle Accident to Miracle. You can find that on Amazon, Kindle, Audible, and Apple Books. So if you like the audio versions for somebody to read to you, that's on Audible and Apple. And also for my social media handles, I am on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn under the same name, which is Kijuan Amey. That's Kijuan Amey.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, Kevin. Man, it's been a pleasure. I knew we could go on and on and on. There's so many similarities, synergies here. But I can say that, I'm happy to have had this opportunity to speak with you, for you to share your achievements with our listening audience. I wish you all the best. We're talking to a person that's been transformed from the head, to the bottom of your feet, like you said, waking up blind. You just didn't give up, like you said. You did not. And I commend you highly for that. And I'm sure persons hearing your story will be motivated and inspired to just go do it, and achieve the success that they're really destined to once they find that purpose, So last word for you, man. Give us the last word to show today.
Oh man, last word for me. Hey, listen, to all the listeners out there, be great. Go out there and be great. Don't allow anybody's thoughts, mental, just whatever they're trying to put on you. Don't allow that to affect you. You go define you, and if they think you're somebody that you used to be back in the day, redefine yourself, because that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, and we can do that. We can have another topic. We're gonna be back and check in on one another to make sure. We'll definitely do that. So it's been great. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve. We hope you found it informative, inspiring, and motivating. Born to Achieve. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and family. Stay focused on your goals, and we'll see you on the next episode of Born to Achieve.
Take advantage of this incredible opportunity. Sign up today and claim your free ebook at www.borntoachievegreatness.com. Follow us on Facebook at Achieve Movement Inc. Get your copy of Exploring Achieveland, A Journey to Realize Your Dreams, Motivational Stories of Kindness, Inspiring Stories for Kids on Amazon and Kindle.